much. And, you know, both Barry and Tom, you guys are inspirational to me, and I'm sure everybody listening and everybody that meets you guys because, you know, we want to have those long lives. So you guys are great leaders in how you take care of yourselves and how dedicated you are to the process. And the next guy we're going to introduce is a guy I've known for almost 40 years now. And another guy that, you know, if you met him and you didn't know him, partly because of his personality, and partly because the fact that I do believe after Dick Clark passed away that he took his place as the oldest living teenager. But you'd have to ask him for his license because you would not believe this guy's 80 years old, by the way, or about to be. He's almost there. A couple months to go. But let me turn the call over now to my good friend, Mr. Wally Kralik. And Wally, first question on my end is just, what did you do today, buddy?
Well, the first thing I do, well, every morning, both my wife and I, we did something that might be a little silly in a way. At my age, at my young age, you don't go out and get yourself a 100-pound dog. And I don't know if anybody's ever walked an aggressive dog. It's a challenge. So we have a black female shepherd that we bought, and she's a really hyper animal, and she's always challenging me. So we do that every morning. We go for a 20-minute walk in the morning and a 20-minute walk in the afternoon. And that's part of being in that blue zone, you know, that I don't know if a good reason to get a dog is because you got to go out. They need to go to the bathroom. So you're almost forced to do that exercise on a daily basis. So, I mean, as much as I love the dog, that was also an alternative reason to get it, to make sure that I get off my butt every day. I got to go out there and take care of this pup. And the big challenge is, of course, is because she's a big dog like that, everybody, my kids are concerned, Dad, she could pull you over. You know, you get on ice and she takes off. She'll just jam you to the ground. And I said, that's the challenge I'll take. But you know, she's been a good dog, and she's been a good incentive to get out in the morning. So that's part of my my blue zone activity.
Well, tell us about your experience now. You've been a health advocate. I know both you and Cheryl, your wife. I know you guys, you know, such a long time. The way we were all young and spry, right? But how are you staying young and spry now? And now that you're approaching 80 here in a couple of short months.
Well, the interesting thing, John, you know, after 25 years or approximately being with Immunotech, the last thing in the world I ever thought I would do was to be involved in network marketing. I mean, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've been in at least 20 different businesses and made millions, lost millions. And the last thing I thought well, I didn't even know about network marketing when I lost my business. But it's interesting, you know, when Cheryl and I, we chat once in a while, not quite often, about Immunical and what it's doing for us. But she makes fun of it. She says, you know, it's a good thing you lost your business. I said, what are you talking about? We lost millions of dollars. He said, if you didn't lose your business, you would never have found Immunotech. We would never, at our age, be as healthy as we are. We'd be wrinkled up and decrepit, possibly at our age, and not doing all the things that we do. And it's because we, you know, our bodies are like a machine. You feed your body like you should, and it will give you everything that it needs to operate, you know, efficiently. So we joke about it, but it's true. I mean, at my age, I was embarrassed when I got to a point where I had to tell people I was a senior citizen to get a discount. I didn't want to do that, but I'm a cheapskate. So I tell people I'm a senior. And you're right, when you mentioned earlier, I have had people challenge me, you know, I don't believe it. Show me your license. So it does make a huge difference. This product did for us. So, but going back to the industry and Immunotech, you know, I can't think of a better business to be involved in. I know a lot of people have questions about the network marketing industry and the validity of it, and is it a real business? Well, I can tell you, I've made millions of dollars with the company by helping a lot of other people. You know, and as I say, is there a better way to spend the rest of your life, or even spend a good portion of your life, is being healthy? I mean, it also encourages you not only to the industry to grow mentally, to become a better human being, to become a leader, but it also encourages you to take care of your health. You're more aware of your health being on a product like Immunical. And as Barry mentioned, you know, he's made friends all over the world. So have I. I mean, I'm so grateful. Friendships are so important to me. And knowing that I'm not just making money for the sake of making money, I'm changing people's lives. I mean, John, when we go down to Mexico, we've got thousands of people down there that were living in the street that today are making an extra $300, $400, $500. We've dramatically changed their lives. So you feel good about that. I mean, I feel, and I know you do, making a difference in people's lives is so important. Um, I'd like to tell you a quick little story. My son and I, I'm almost old enough to be your dad, by the way, John. Almost.
I know.
We won't go there.
Almost. Well, yeah, actually, you are. You are old enough.
On our bucket list, my son, what is he, 55 now? We wanted to go to Spain to go on a motorcycle trip. So, we did that a couple of years ago. And he opened his big mouth and told the guy who was leading the pack, he told him my age, and the guy says, "You can't ride in these mountains. This is designed for 25-year-olds." He says, "You wait here, drink cappuccino and brandy, sit there at the shops in Spain. There's a lot of nice places to sit there in the mountains." But I said, "Look, give me a break. Let me go with you the first day and see how I do." And so at the end of the day, the guy came up to me and says, "Wally, when I grow up, I want to be like you." So I was able to maneuver those mountains, and they're tricky riding, dirt bike riding. And the other thing too, John, at my age, like most guys at my age, give up on riding their Harleys because it's a big bike, it's a heavy bike, and you've got to be fit to handle it mentally too, not just physically. And then to put your wife on the back of the bike, another 100 and some odd pounds, you got to pay attention to what you're doing. And, as far as I'm concerned, Unical has been a big plus in allowing me to do that kind of thing. So I could never have done that. I mean, I went and bought a 4-acre house on the river, which it's 200 years old, takes a lot of maintenance, a lot of work. I can climb up ladders up on the roof. I can do things that most 8-year-olds like, "Are you kidding?" They said, "Get off that ladder, you're going to hurt yourself." So as I say, it's a good feeling to be able to, like Tom mentioned and Barry, that you want to be able to live your lifestyle and do all the things that you want to do, because most people, when they get to the retirement age, they have trouble getting out of bed. I can still jump out of bed. I'm not as fast, but I can get out of bed. I can do my 30 push-ups. I can do 20-minute power walks. I can ride my bike. I'm going to go out kicking and screaming, John. I plan on leaving the planet unless God wants me sooner. I want to be 107. That's kind of my date that I want to leave the planet. And while I'm doing that, I'm helping a lot of people with their incomes and with their lifestyles and making a difference. And as I say, I'm so grateful for all the things that Immunical and Immunitech has brought into my life, and the friendships that I've got, and the future that I'm going to be able to pass on this income to my kids, which is a real big plus for me. Because my original business I was going to pass on to my kids, which I lost. So now I can do it again. I mean, my kids, God willing, they're for the next 30, 40 years, they're going to be getting an income from Immunical or from Immunitech, from what I've done over the last 25 years. So again, I'm grateful for that. So thanks for having me on the call. Hopefully that makes a lot of sense to some people.
Well, you're not getting off that easy. Are you going to flex
Nope.
for us?
I wish.
Are you going to flex for us?
I thought about it, but I don't want to embarrass anybody.
Hey, Wally, all those years ago when Dr. Drogue was here, and we were in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and Drogue made the comment to Sandra that he thought Immunical would add 30 years to her life expectancy. I mean, those are things that I think a lot of people don't understand. They don't really grasp that that's possible. They think that's some kind of a wild statement, but I think it's fact, don't you?
Oh, I do. I mean, as I say, at 80 years old, I'm on no meds. I just take the Immunical products, and everything works, and my body just is like a machine. I can do anything I want to do. I can play squash with 50-year-olds, and keep up at their pace. So it's, I believe in so much in keeping your body healthy, and Immunical is definitely one of the components. And what you mentioned earlier too, Keith, it's scary, or no, Barry mentioned it, being scared of COVID. I mean, I couldn't go down to the U.S. to go down to Florida there. I'm in BC right now. And by the way, I drove 4,000 kilometers in 4 days. How many 80-year-olds could do that? So I couldn't go down to the States because I wasn't vaccinated, but I'm looking forward to spending, driving and planning, going around the world at my age, where most people at 80, 85 can't do that anymore. They can't walk. They can't get out of bed quick enough. They can't get out of their car quick enough. I see older people spend 5 minutes getting out of their car. I don't want to end up like that. I want to make sure my body works like it's supposed to, the way God designed it. So I'm grateful. So anyway, back to you, Keith.
Well, actually, back to me. So, well, Wally, thank you so much. So here's what you've met so far, folks. You've met Wally. When is 80? It's June, right?
May.
In May, Wally will be 80. So you've met Wally, who's going to be 80 shortly. Tom, who will be 81 this year, and Barry, who's 84, going to be 85 this year. Okay, and all three of these guys, take my word for it. Okay, if you don't know them. If you met them, you'd have to ask for their license because you would not believe their age. Now, here's the great news. Great for them, right? Great for us. We can be the same way. I look at them. They're all friends of mine. They're all guys I've known for many years. But I look at them as that's how I want to be 20 plus years down the road when I get to that age. Still moving, still capable, still involved with business, still involved with my kids, my hopefully grandkids, maybe great grandkids, who knows. That's how we want to be. That's how it's intended to be. But you need the aid of a product like Communical, frankly, to get there. And some of these blue zone things we're talking about, good communities, move the body every day, exercise, right? Exercise is king, nutrition is queen. Put them together, you got a kingdom. So, hey, thank you, Wally. Let's move on to our next speaker, who is not an octogenarian by any stretch of the imagination. And